4 years ago now, I see robotic lawn mowing, and I'll never forget the person at the Husqvarna booth said, "Oh, you're a landscaper. You own Langton. You're never going to want this because it's going to take your jobs." And I said, "Listen, I'm an entrepreneur. I don't sit on a lawnmower. I hire people to sit on lawnmowers. Let me take a look at the technology." Um, so that I'm very excited and passionate about, because that moment in time has made me realize the thing I'm most passionate about right now, which is taking our industry and uniting us, um, bringing, opening people's minds in our industry to realize that automation is our friend, not our enemy. Someone that's going to cut grass for the rest of their life can never do anything other than cut grass unless you move them into hardscape or something else, or management. So now one of the things that I feel like we do is, and I want to do, is teach people to take that employee, put them in a better profit center, and let something automated do what's going to cap that employee and keep them low income the rest of their life. I've always been a take the bull by the horns kind of guy, so I don't wait for a phone call to come in. I look at an account and say, I want it. Much like I wanted to be a distributor at Green Magic Homes, much like I wanted to be a dealer at LS Tractor, much like I wanted to be a dealer for Husqvarna. So how I used to prospect, and still do, is I walk in the door and kind of goes like this, like, "Hi, I'm Joe Langton. What's it going to take for me to plow your parking lot this year?" I remember being in a meeting and there were 90 electricians, and just dreaming that one day I might have a company with 90 people at a meeting. Now we do snow meetings, and there's so many people. We have to have meetings over 3 days, to know that I am now running companies that I only dreamed to run. It's exciting. It's like, hopefully people listening are inspired by that, because something I only dreamed about in my 20s, I'm doing in my 40s. I never ask anyone to do something I wouldn't do. So I plow snow, I dig ditches, I dig trees in, I roll trees in, I do all the things everybody does, right? But I do less of that now, because I trust that the people I have can do those things. Day in a life for me is just networking, interacting with people, making them feel appreciated, making them feel needed, but also staying out of their way and letting them do what I hired them for, and not, I think I do more of like guiding or steering at this point. I think anyone that's an industry leader really only gets there because they assemble a great team of people. So we're industry leaders because of my brother John. We're industry leaders because of Tanner, Tony, Kyle, you. I could go on and list all the people that work for us. And honestly, some of the people don't still work for me. Unfortunately, sometimes people move on. But I'm still an industry leader because of the time they put in. At the end of the day, all companies are just an accumulation of what their people have built over the years. So I'm grateful for everybody that's ever been here. I'm grateful for anyone that's ever followed my leadership and lead and tried to build what I hope to build, because without them, I wouldn't. So that's what makes us successful. Something I hope to be a little bit inspirational on with this is, sometimes things happen in your life that then you might see them as a failure in the moment. But if you give time, like the time to basically play itself out, at the end of the day, it's just a stepping stone and just a point in your life, and it all passes. I will fire customers for treating my employees bad. It's one of the things that I think a lot of my employees respect the most about me is, I have had some customers that have treated my employees bad, and I just let the customer go. Because to me, my employees are my life. The customers, I can always find a new one. Now, there's going to be tons of business people that think that's the craziest thing they've ever heard before, but that's me. That's what it is. these are the things that I'm passionate about, is to kind of break the ideas of, businesses have to be a man's world. I see the way you run this with me, and there's a lot of things you do that are better than what I do. So I'm very passionate and excited about that, and leaving you some groundworks to be as successful and actually more successful than me. So I suppose my legacy is for you to be more successful than me.